This sprinkler with the red flag, and then this one also with the red flag. You can see they're quite a distance apart. One in that bush, one down in the lower bush. Failed to pressurize about 2 years ago. I've been compensating with an above ground sprinkler and a hose. The control box for these two sprinklers is here where this black fence is. I put that around the control box because my grandsons kept stepping on the box playing football. I'll show you more about the box in a minute. But these two sprinklers failed to pressurize, I believe, because this old tree and all of the roots have grown into the line somewhere and damaged it. Now, it's not bubbling up anywhere, so I'm trying to troubleshoot where it is leaking. And here's what I believe. This line, which goes under the water feature, tees off from a line that runs along the patio here, because these two sprinklers at the corner are also on the same circuit and they will still run, but I had to compensate them with lower pressure heads. My plan is, instead of digging up the whole line, I'm going to test it here. I'm going to cut this line, and then I've run the water through the terminus end of the system down at the lower bush there, and I will run it through, and if it comes out here, I'll know that this is the feeder pipe for this circuit without having to dig it up. I don't have any schematics for this old system that I inherited with the property. So I'm going to test it by cutting it here, and if indeed this is the feeder pipe and it's damaged underneath all the roots and the water feature, I'm going to cap it and create a second watering station with my 8-station setup. I have 7 stations used right now, and I'm going to add an 8th. I'll show you more about that in a minute. So there was a drain valve here at the bottom end of this lower sprinkler. I have attached a hose to it. I'm going to run water in it now, which will come, this is the terminus end of this particular station, and it should go back through under the grass to my other sprinkler, which has failed, which is behind this bush here. And then I think it's going to go, here's the other sprinkler where the red flag is. I think from there it'll go underground through all this water feature, and it should come out through this feeder pipe that I have cut. And if that's the case, we'll know that the damage is probably roots all in through here, and we can cap this right down here so that the right side, the feeder end, will still pressurize for these sprinklers that are along the patio, and I'll create a new station by capping this line on the back side of the damage over here at the base of this sprinkler. And I'm going to run a new line from the control box across the grass. It's much closer in here to the bottom sprinkler, and we should have pressure for everything again. It is, as I suspected, this is the feeder line for the system. This is the valve box that controls where I'm going to add a additional station now. If you are trying to figure out what the valves, what they do, you can always spot this octagonal end is the shutoff part. So the water feeds into the valve here, and then this turns this station on and off. So this line runs out this way to a station. Here's this valve gets shut off. The feeder water comes in here, and then it would shut off the water going out this way. You can see all the valves are downstream of the feeder line. So these two have lines that run out under the grass this way, and this is the main line coming in. See, there's no valve to shut it off, so it's coming here, and this is the main line that's feeding those two valves to the left and these two valves to the right. So that's how you can figure out what the valves do. On this one, I'm going to put a T right in here and add another valve in between these two that'll run down to this lower bush that has failed, and then of course it has a line that goes across to this upper bush here, and there should be enough pressure then to run those two. Where the line has failed on this system is here where all these roots and water feature are, and I showed you as I ran the hose here backwards through here, it came through and through this bush and up and under all the water feature and then out where I cut it up here. So I'm going to cap it back on this end now and create a whole new station here with pressure, and then not worry about digging up the damaged line in here. And then over here I will cap it close to the main line that runs along the little concrete pad there, and that one should run again very beautifully as well. So the wires for these valves are color-coded. They all have a common ground wire. You use waterproof nuts on these. They are filled with silicone, little blue nuts. And so right now I have four wires used in here. I've got another 3 color-coded wires, white, red, and brown, that could add 3 more valves, but my controller will not run that many stations. I only have an 8-station controller, and I'm running 7 stations right now. So I'll pick one of these colored wires and run it to my new valve, and then the common ground will go with the other grounds. They're right here. You can see all the grounds are in this big nut, and then each individual valve has its own color-coded positive that activates the valve. So I'm going to show you at the control box as well how to add the wire up there to the control box. I believe, if I remember right, I chose the brown wire because it hadn't been used in the control box yet, and it's already been attached to that station up at the control box. I'll show you how that works as well. So this is my Rainbird control box, and on this one you just pop the hinged panel, and you'll see right in here the various colored wires that run the stations. There's a white station right now, a black, looks like 2 greens, 2 blues, 2 oranges, a yellow, and yes, I took the brown one. I took this brown one and cleaned it last year, and my plan is to attach it here to station number 8 underneath that screw, and then that should activate that last station once I get the valve in. So just look at your wiring that comes to your valve box and make the appropriate adjustments to your control panel. Good luck. One more thing, I have been putting little unions like this one right here. You can spin it here on this edge and unscrew the valve so you can replace it without having to cut more pipe, lose your pipe, and then have to reconfigure all of this stuff someday when you don't have enough pipe to glue to anymore. The problem with these tiny unions is if the line is stressed, if it's not perfectly straight, they'll start to leak here at the crack, which happened on this one. Rather than dig it up, cut it off, fix it, I just use some of that stretchable rubberized tape. You need to probably turn your water off, get the pressure out of the system for it to be the most effective. Clean the pipe good with some electronic spray cleaner to get all the residue and dirt off. Wrap super tight. It took me about 3 different layers of wraps to get this one to stop leaking, but it has stopped now. On this new valve that I add here, I'm going to put in a better quality union that's heavier, and this one won't leak. So they're more money. This is, I think, about $7, $7, but that'll go right here off the T, and then I can take this valve out to replace it too if I need to down the road. Good luck.